Hicks. I'm Kelly Hallinan. I'm joined by
Ethan Pollock here, the other side of the press box.
And now, we ask that you remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem.
All right, so for today's matchup, again, I'm Kelly. I'm joined by... So heading into today's matchup, a few things to note. So Marquette leads this series against the Dogs 6-5. Last year they won 3-2 at Marquette. Before that, 2-1 at Butler. So you could say Butler's coming in as the underdogs in this matchup. However, after their win against DePaul last game, they won 5-0. So compared to Marquette's matchup against DePaul, where they won 3-1. So if we're comparing last game, Butler might have the edge. But Ethan, what are you thinking about today's game heading into it? What are the keys to victory for the Dogs?
So as you just said, Butler had a 5-0 win against DePaul. So like I say, they have to keep their foot on the throttle and keep it going. I mean, Butler was predicted to win their side of the conference in the Big East division. And I think they should just be able to keep on going. There were goals from Tommy Visser, Wilmer Cabrera, and Eric Hollenkamp. All those goals, be able to get it to some of those players and might be able to have some success. They also got to do well playing defense. Yes, they had 5 goals in that one game, but they had struggles at letting up 7 goals in the first 4 games. So looking to try and revive that type of defense that they had. I mean, in the game against DePaul, Gabrielle Georgie only had to make 2 saves, so we need to try and keep some sort of defense similar to that. And finally, we simply need to stay consistent. You start off the season 0-4, now you're 1-0. Let's keep the hot streak going. Make sure you guys make them keep on winning them. We don't want to be able to drop another one and then have a roller coaster of a ride. Let's just keep on riding the high and keep on scoring goals.
Definitely. And another thing to note, so for today's game, Brendan Hicks will be making his first career start for this season, second career start in his whole time here at Butler. Last year at an away game at Providence, Brendan Hicks Scored 2 of his first ever goals last year in a 3-1 win over the Friars. The following week, he won Big East Freshman of the Week because of his 2 goals. So hopefully he'll have a hot foot in today's matchup. Score again for us.
Yep. I mean, 3 straight goals, or a hat trick that he had. I mean, Nuke nothing but ask for anything more than that. So looks like there's going to be a foul already on DePaul as they look to try and move the ball. Trying to push the momentum. Butler was able to control most of the ball in the game against DePaul. Had most of the momentum. Ball was on the other side of the field, so Georgie did not have to do much at all. So Butler looking to try and push the pace early and set a tone for the rest of the game.
And speaking of goalkeepers, Marquette's goalkeeper, Hallwood, he won Big East honor of goalkeeper of the week this season already, so he's definitely someone to look out for. We're going to have a throw-in right now by DeBolt.
Come on, get some pressure!
Hicks sends it up to Haywood. Butler able to advance it down the field early. Hemi with a long shot. Nasser sails it just over the goal.
Field goal's good. A little too much on that shot, though, as they were trying to push it downfield. No, a little too hard. He's just got to get a little bit warmed up, get back into the rhythm, and set up a play. Get the Butler offense going.
Another player to watch on Marquette's roster is number 9, Lucas Sunasan. He won Big East honors after their win against DePaul, and he also had the game-winning goal against NIU earlier this season. He's having a breakout season, leads the team in goals with 4, and is second in the Big East currently.
Header there by Wilson Cabrera, already shot on goal for the Dogs. Great play there, just sent it right at the goalie, Chandler Hallwood. Looks like Butler's getting to them. Pressure's building on early here.
DeBolt throws it in over to Cabrera Jr., sending it to Visser. Visser's trying to make something happen, looking for a cross. But Marquette's defense able to kick it away. Looks like it'll be a Butler corner. And it'll be Jack Haywood taking that one.
Somehow in that 5-goal masterpiece that the Bulldogs had last game, there were no corner kick goals. It was like mostly when the Bulldogs were on the opposite, coming across and trying to get something going, but no really goals against from the cross. So, as looks like Visser sent it a little too far. A little too trigger happy the Bulldogs are today, launching them a little too high. Got to settle down and make some smart passes.
Hallwood will kick it over to the Marquette defense. Hicks heads it. Haywood trying to catch up to it. It'll be Marquette ball.
Marquette's pushing it down.
Soto sends it down the field, but Savona is there to clear it. It'll be Nasser on the other end, passing it up to Savona.
Before the DePaul game, I mean, speaking of Hemi Nasser, he was the only one that had the goal for the Bulldogs, as in their first 4 games they just could not find a way to get it going, but he was the only one that was able to have the points on the board. But after this game, he is no longer the only one on there, and it's great to see some other guys getting some action and putting some points on the board.
Yeah, and after last game, Wilmer Cabrera Jr. had a hat trick, got a Big East honor this week. Definitely good to see him back in his offensive rhythm. He's a key player for the Bulldogs in scoring. He started every single game last year and had 8 goals on the season last year. So definitely good to have him back with that hat trick. I'm excited to see what he can do today. So in this season, Marquette is entering this game 4-1, 1-1 in the Big East, compared to Butler, who's 1-4, and then 1-0 in the Big East. Marquette has outscored their opponents 7-3 so far this season. So definitely have been able to get a lot of goals in the back of the net so far. It looks like we have a cross right there, but it is no good. Butler was outscored 7-1 before their last game against DePaul, but now 7-6 after their 5-game shutout. So definitely an improvement after the last game.
Absolutely. It's like you always, when you have all those goals keep on getting scored, it's like you want them to be spread out just a little bit more, not have all of them be in the same game, but like as a single game performance, you love to see 5 goals in one game. But looks like now Butler's going to have another corner.
Right now, if you're just joining us, it is still scoreless, 0-0, 39 minutes to go left in this first half. It's going to be a corner right now. Butler gets a second corner, a second opportunity.
Oh! Getting that header there was, I believe, was that Remy? I think Remy Myers?
Reese Myers.
Or Reese Myers, excuse me. He's able to jump up there and grab that. Just skied it a little too much. It's kind of a little bit of a rainbow corner kick that the Bulldogs just had there. Just kind of floated there for a little bit.
Soto tries to cross it, but Perrin Barnes is able to get in the way and clear it over to Visser. Butler's defense trying to advance it up the field to Cabrera Jr. Entering today's game, Marquette's head coach, Lewis Bennett, is very close to being the second coach in the school's history to reach 100 career wins. If they won this game, it'd be his 96th. Coach before that, who won was 140 times, was Steve Adlard. So Marquette coach coming up on that 100th win if he's able to get a win today. Compared to our head coach, Butler's Paul Snape, he has 82 wins right now. So he's pretty close too to 100.
Don't know if there's enough games for him to get it this season, Paul Snape, but maybe if Butler is able to go on a hot streak, just might be able to. Butler now going to have a penalty kick, at least, or kick just at the 20-yard line. I mean, and this is another fun goal that we had in the last game. I believe it was Eric Hollenkamp scored a goal from the 30-yard line. It was a 40-yard goal. Not often you see goals like that happen from that far of a distance. He just caught the goalie slacking from DePaul and was able to score. So we'll see what they got here.
The goal is just wide. It's going to go back to Marquette. I love these early opportunities, though. So far, about 3 chances on goal, which is always nice to apply that pressure early on. We always talk about that first goal is super important to control the flow of the game, so definitely whichever team gets the first goal kind of has that advantage and the momentum for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they were looking to get Reese Myers again involved, but sailed it too high, and if only he was able to, a few inches taller, he might have had that one.
So heading into today's game, who do you think are some key players to watch on both sides, Butler and Marquette? Who do we think is going to have a big impact on today's result?
So I chose 2 offensive players just because I'm looking to always enjoy some of the offense that we have going. So I'll start off with Butler. We've been talking about him enough, and that is, I think those 2 guys right, maybe at least the one that just got involved in the play right there, which was Wilson Cabrera. Obviously, we've said it again and again. Hat-trick in the last game that they played. You get him going offensively, and this Butler team is a whole different team. And I think you got to find a way to get him on the scoring board or just get involved with maybe even getting an assist. And it might be able to get Butler to go up. But in terms of Marquette, they've also got Lucas Sunason. Like you said earlier, he was second in the Big East so far in scoring goals so far this season. He's got 4 goals, and including one of them that was a game winner. like we said, I think earlier in the season against Northern Illinois. So he's a big player offensively for the Golden Eagles as he tries to get closer and snag that ball. But he's one of their best forwards and their strikers on this team, and you're able to get Sunasun going for them. You might have an offensive masterpiece between these two teams.
Definitely. Right now we have Butler defense trying to get it up the field. Nasser gets it through 2 defenders. Haywood crosses fields over to DeBolt. Just too strong of a kick. It's going to go back to Hallwood.
Steal there by Nasser. Great defense by Marquette to be able to block that shot.
Nasser with the throw-in.
Deep cross. Able to be handled, though, was by Chandler Hallwood. Chandler Hallwood, speaking of him, as the goalie for Marquette. This is his, I believe, second year with Marquette after he had his first year with Gannon University in Pennsylvania. He was actually one of the better players. He won in 2019. He won the PSAC West Defensive Athlete of the Year. He saved a career high 7 shots in their game against Creighton. So he's been playing very, very well for this Marquette team, and kind of a great pickup by them from going to steal them from Gannon University.
If you're just joining us, quick score update. I know we don't have a score graphic, but it is still scoreless, 0-0, 32 minutes, just a little over 32 minutes to go in this first half. We have Visser taking it up the sidelines over to Hollenkamp.
That was a great block by Harvey Reed from Marquette. Kind of blocked it right with his head there. Didn't think it was intentional, but still blocked it.
Another thing to note for Marquette, that they are a dangerous overtime team. I do not think any Butler fans will want this game to go into overtime today. They are 7-2-2 in their last 11 overtime games, and their first 3 games of this 2021 spring season were overtime thrillers. So definitely hoping that this game will not go into overtime, because Marquette is very dangerous in those extended minutes. Right now it's going to go to Marquette's goalie, Hallwood.
So far, though, we've seen plenty of pressure put on by Butler. Not much action for Gabriel Georgi on Butler's side, as he's been basically, like we said, and what we needed them to do is keep the ball on Marquette's side and create as less of action on his side, or the Butler side of the court or the field, and be able to control the ball, which so far they've done a very good job of.
Yeah, Gabriel Georgi is a junior out of Italy after the DePaul win last game. It was his 8th career shutout. He started in all 20 matches last year, made 92 saves. A close opportunity right there for Hollenkamp.
He had the opportunity there as he was coming from the left side. No defender in sight, and just shot it right at Hallwood, making another easy save. But Hallwood getting all these saves so far, and getting a lot of work in so far this first half.
Visser applies pressure, is able to get the ball and send it up to DeBolt. Hicks sends it back over to Savona, crosses field to Nasser.
Great passing so far that we've seen.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, Butler has definitely been in control so far most of the game, applying pressure to Marquette's defense. Visser right now trying to make something happen with the cross. Just a little too far right.
Going to be a throw-in though, way out in that corner for Marquette. Still have a chance to keep applying the pressure here is Butler.
So far, Butler has had 3 shots on goal. 6 shots. Marquette goalie Hallwood has already had 3 saves. Barnes in control now, sends it over to DeBolt. Hicks sends it up to Cabrera Jr. Another chance right here. Just can't finish. We talked about Butler's offense, obviously, but what do you think about Butler's defense? I mean, last game, it was a shutout. It was 5-0. They couldn't get 1 goal in the back of the net. So who in the defense have kind of contributed to that strong end?
I think their leader, in Reese Myers, has been a great job. He's, I believe, their captain, and he has been the anchor of this Butler defense, helping them keep the ball in the opposite side of the zone. And I think he's been the centerpiece. I mean, being able to help these younger guys around him, as he is, I believe, a senior. So he's been here for a long time. He knows what he's talking about. He's got the experience, and just making sure the rest of the defense stays solid throughout. And just when you got a guy like him, it's pretty easy to keep the ball on the other side, as that makes everyone around him better. And I think with that, I think they got plenty more opportunities to be able to have success on the other side of the field.
Mm-hmm. Marquette having an opportunity right now. A close one.
Just hit the left side of the net. Viewers at home probably thought that was in. Is it maybe a little bit of an optical illusion, but I promise you it was not in.
Another captain right here in the goalkeeper, Jergy with the goal kick. Their 3 captains are Reese Myers, Joel Harvey, and Gabriel Jergy. Hollenkamp able to get control after that goal kick and sends it over to Visser. Visser is a redshirt freshman. He had his first goal last game.
That ball sent a little too fast off of his foot. Was Eric Hollenkamp. Could not control the ball and accidentally sent it a little too hard off his boot and sent it way out.
Another exciting note for today's game is that it was just announced the other day that Butler Athletics is now allowing 25% fan capacity for most Butler home competitions this spring. The past few Butler men's soccer games have been family passes only. No fans have been allowed in, but today we do have a few fans, which is exciting, especially as the weather's getting nicer here in Indy. Nasser tries to cross it, tries to get something going, but Hallwood is able to get in front of it. Going to be Butler's 4th corner so far. Marquette has none right now. Haywood sends it in. It looks like DeBolt and Myers were looking for that foul call in the box. That would have been nice, a nice PK real quick.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a push, but ref did not think it was intentional and did not decide to call.
Savona sends it up to Cabrera. A close opportunity for him. He would have liked to seen that go in, but...
Yeah, you want that ball with Cabrera right exactly where he got it. And that's when they saw Cabrera wide open like that, they knew they had to get him there and let him do his magic. That time he just could not keep it close to the ground and shot it really high. But
definitely. If I'm Marquette's defense and I see Wilmer Cabrera Jr. running up the field with the ball, I'd probably get a little nervous. We have another corner. Myers tries to get ahead on it. And Hicks.
Another close opportunity there. Butler applying tons of pressure here. Now they're going to get a corner on the opposite side. Plenty of corner kicks to go around in this first half.
It's going to be Jack Haywood again. We talked about it last game, but he takes every single corner for the Dogs. And oftentimes it's extremely accurate right in front of the goal.
Visser was able to score his first collegiate goal, actually, in the game against DePaul, along with his first assist, where him and Cabrera helped each other out. First, Visser went out and did a really good assist to Cabrera, and then Cabrera responded by giving him a perfect pass and then allowing Wilmer to get his first goal of his collegiate career. So the two looking like they got some sort of chemistry building.
So far, Butler's scorers this season have been Hemi Nasser with 1 goal in their first game against SIUE. Then they had a little bit of a drought, 3 scoreless games, but definitely made up for it last game against DePaul. Cabrera Jr., who has the ball right now, had 3 goals, Visser had 1, and Eric Hollenkamp had 1. And Cabrera was looking for Nasser on that one.
Great idea there by Cabrera, trying to look out for Nasser, who was streaking down the field. Just sent it just a few feet away from him. He was only just a little bit faster. He could have been able to get to that one.
Hemi Nasser is a sophomore out of Dearborn, Michigan. He made 7 starts in his freshman season, saw action in 18 games for the Bulldogs, and his first career goal came at Seton Hall, October 19th. He took 25 shots on the year, which was 3rd on the team, so he's definitely up and coming offensively. Only a sophomore and already had 1 goal last year and a goal this season, so definitely another player to look out for alongside Cabrera Jr. Score is still 0-0. Just over 21 minutes left to go in this first half. Butler has been in control most of the game, but right now we have Marquette able to save it before it goes out. DeBolt applying some pressure and is able to get away with it. And there's going to be a foul.
Got in the way of him there.
That foul will be on number 21, Merceberger, for Marquette. And Perrin Barnes is going to go with the kick, send it over to their goalkeeper.
Sneaking up and playing defense there was Lucas Susan for Marquette. Another foul on Marquette here. As Butler slowly moves the ball upfield. Just hit the 20-minute mark too here. Still scoreless here between Butler and Marquette.
DeBolt is going to send it to the middle to Haywood. Now it's back with the defenders, Barnes and Myers, a great dynamic defense duo. Looks like there was a little push. Nasser's down, but no call.
Ref making sure these guys keep playing, not trying to call any of the ticky-tacky fouls, because then later it could get a little bit ugly if you keep calling those fouls. Trying to make sure it's a nice, clean game.
Haywood sends it up to Visser. He's able to get to the ball, but Marquette comes away with it. It's going to be Mersberger with the throw-in.
No substitutes so far that we've seen so far this game, so both teams making sure all their players are staying in and getting some time going.
Sunason was in control. Mersberger is going to send it over to Andrade, but Nasser comes away with it. Nasser, Haywood, and Cabrera Jr. Little breakaway. Let's see what they can make of it. Very close.
Cabrera obviously frustrated after that. They had a 3-on-2 opportunity and just could not find a way to take advantage of it and sent it right to the goalie. Once again, Howard.
And 3 of those players for Butler on that 3-on-2. One of them was obviously Cabrera Jr., who we've talked about a lot. The other was Jack Haywood, who was also received a preseason Big East honor, all third team. And then Hemi Nasser, who scored their first goal of the season against SIUE. So 3 strong offensive players in that 3-on-2, but unfortunately, nothing came out of it. And now it is back to Marquette's defense as they try and get something going. Still scoreless, 0-0, 17 minutes, 30 seconds to go.
Dangerous play here for Marquette.
Gabriel Gergi with a clean save right off of his shin, it looks like. Marquette's going to get ready for a corner.
That was Lucas Sunason applying the pressure. One of the players we said to watch out for, as you don't likely want to have him running one-on-one against the goalie.
He's in the midst of a breakout season, so definitely do not want that one-on-one. But Gergi was able to take care of it.
Great block there. There's Nasser being able to now try and push up field. He's able to stop the corner, make sure nothing really happens deep in the Butler zone.
And so Bolt was able to clear it out of bounds, get it away from Gergi, and now it was Mersberger with the throw-in. Mersberger comes away with it in that little scuffle, but Haywood able to take it from Andrade and sends it up the field.
Another opportunity here for the Bulldogs as they're pushing up field with numbers.
Nasser setting up to cross it, it looks like. And Visser with the cross, Haywood with a close chance, but Hallwood comes away with it. Haywood and Hallwood. Little matchup right there.
Hallwood getting the best of him, but he has had a busy day so far.
Hallwood has 4 saves right now compared to Gergi with just 1, so definitely that stat kind of shows you Butler's been applying that offensive pressure. Unfortunately though, still 0-0, no goals yet for either team, just a little over 15 minutes left before the halftime break.
Looks like we're going to be having 2 substitutes coming in very soon at the next break in the action. One from either team. Bring some fresh legs in.
Nasser sends it to Haywood. Haywood has great field vision. He's very good at assisting and very good at seeing his fellow teammates out on the field and sends it up, try and get a goal. Dogs are being very patient, not forcing anything until they see an opening in Marquette's defense. Merceberger goes up against Visser, but Visser's able to take it away from him.
And then taken right back by Marquette. Trying to use his speed.
It's going to be Gennaro, but he just can't catch up to it. We have some substitutions coming in right now.
Substitutions for the Golden Eagles.
Looks like that's going to be DJ Hooks for Butler.
Number 10, Christian Gennaro. And for your Bulldogs, number 22, DJ Hooks. For 10, Hemi Nasser.
Nasser getting a break after he had a busy time running up and down the field.
And now we also have Nick Guido in for Marquette. Haven't seen him play yet today.
Big kick here for Butler. Trying to get DJ Hooks involved after he just came in.
Marquette substitution, 18, AJ Franklin. For 11, Beto Soto.
AJ Franklin coming in for Marquette now.
And he replaces Soto, who is only a freshman out of Texas, but has already had 2 game-winning goals this season already. So getting a fresh set of legs in for him, I'm sure he'll be back.
Cabrera tried to go sneak around, try and be able to make a play on that ball. Just was gave him a little bit too much of a shove and got called for the foul there.
Haywood is down right now, grabbing his leg. Hopefully he's okay. Seems to be getting up right now. It's going to be Reed. Sends it over.
Looks like we might. No, looks like he was going to be pulling for a card there. Just the ref stuck his hand in his pocket, making sure. But got to be careful of those elbows that they keep using right there, because Marquette has fallen down, and their refs are going to be calling that every single time.
Butler tries to get in the way of that pass, but unfortunately goes out of bounds. It's going to be a Marquette header.
That's the kind of defense that we like, though. Making sure that Butler is attentive and using their speed to their advantage and going out and taking the ball away no matter if they hit it out of bounds or not. So looks like they're going to be calling an offsides on Marquette.
Franklin was looking to advance it up to one of his 2 teammates, but the offsides call obviously interrupted that. Jergy sending it over to DeBolt. See if Visser can advance it any further. Just under 11 minutes to go in this first half, 0-0. Cabrera Jr. right now.
Big collision there between the ball. Butler's Visser and one of the Marquette's defenders.
You can hear Marquette's head coach yelling, "Change speed, get after it." He's definitely frustrated.
Being very vocal right now, as he's witnessed this Butler pressure all game long.
Cabrera able to get the ball out of that. A little bit of contact, but goes just wide. It's going to be another goal kick.
Looks like he got up holding his hamstring right there, Wilson Cabrera, so hopefully didn't pull anything and he should be able to be okay, but looks like another sub coming in for Butler.
That's going to be number 19, Ethan King. He is replacing Eric
Bulldogs
Hollenkamp.
substitution, 19, Ethan King. For 14, Eric Hollenkamp.
Ethan King coming into this game as a redshirt junior from Grand Haven, Michigan. He was part of the Midwest United FC team that won the MSYSA state championship. So coming from a successful program and hopefully being able to continue that here at Butler.
And the first point of his career, his Butler career, came with an assist in a win over Seton Hall last year. Same time Hemi Nasser scored his first goal. He took 7 shots on the season, 2 against Seton Hall that game, and saw action in 17 contests.
Great defense once again there by Butler. Reese Myers stopped them in their tracks and then got a little bit of help from somebody else. And
just about 8 minutes to go in this first half. Looks like it will be Butler ball after a little bit of confusion there on the field.
Marquette making sure to take their time to allow their guys to get back on defense. So they're doing a little bit of stalling, and Butler's players did not like that. Major collision there. It was between Marquette's Hallwood and Butler's Ethan King, it looks like, as he just recently came into the game. Exchanged a few words there for a little bit.
Looks like that's going to be a foul on Marquette's Franklin. Griffin to Bolt. With a little tumble, and now it's going to be Perrin Barnes kicking it. Some stats right now. If you missed a little bit of the first half, right now Butler has had 10 shots, Marquette only 2. Butler has had 4 shots on goal, Marquette only 1, so definitely been on Marquette's side of the field for quite some time this first half with just under 7 minutes to go. Marquette's goalie, Hallwood, has had 4 saves compared to Jergy's 1. Both teams have 8 fouls.
Pass just a little too high for DJ Hooks, one of Butler's most recent subs. Bringing fresh legs on there and trying to be able to get on and bring some more energy to the team.
Hallwood sends it up. Visser heads the ball now. Ethan King's going to have a little bit of a chance.
Off the crossbar. What a strike there by Jack Haywood. As Cabrera tried to get something going, the ball went behind him, and Jack Haywood, it was just him, the goalie, open net, launched that one. Just a little too high. Hit the crossbar and bounce back into play. Very good, or very close opportunity there for the Bulldogs.
Looks like on the other end, trying to head that ball, there was a collision. The Butler player down right now. He's up now, though.
Great defense there by Perrin Barnes, sticking his foot out and taking away the opportunity.
Haywood and Cabrera started applying pressure, but Hallwood sends it downfield.
Offsides called on Marquette's most recent sub Sam Thornton, who's came into the game.
Just about 4 minutes left to go, 0-0 before the halftime break. Visser looks to cross it, but it is stopped by Mersberger. It's going to be yet another Butler corner taken by Jack Haywood. This will be their 7th corner compared to Marquette's 1.
Fisher sends it in. Goalie able to get his hands on it, but they're going to be calling a foul on Butler.
Looks like that foul is on Griffin DeBolt.
There are a lot of people on Butler applying pressure there. Everyone got bunched together, and there was no clear path for the goalie, so they called that a foul. Giving Marquette the ball.
Just under 3 minutes to go. Marquette looking to get a shot before the end of the first half.
Dangerous pass there by Barnes with Marquette applying pressure. Decided to pass it back to Georgie of Butler's goalie.
Haywood sends it way over to Hooks, who tries to save it, keep it in bounds, keep it alive, but it goes out and it'll be back to Marquette. Justin Savona with the header. Haywood trying to make something of it now. A little too crowded in there, a little too fancy.
That foul was on Wilmer Cabrera, excuse me. Going back to a little bit about Cabrera on Butler, his hat trick that we've mentioned earlier in the game, it was the first 3-goal game for a Butler Bulldog since Louis Sudik netted a trio against IUPUI on August 30th, 2016. So it's been almost 4 or 5 years since the last time there was a hat trick. So great game for Butler and great feat for Wilmer Cabrera.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
I'm sure you heard our PA announcer. Just under a minute to go. Both teams trying to get a goal, have that halftime momentum. Just about 30 seconds.
Looks like Marquette's going to take their time here. I think they want to call it for a first half as they've had a slow start to their first half. Only got 2 shots, whereas Butler's been putting the pressure the entirety of the first half. Got 11 shots. And they're just going to wait this out and send it into the first half.
That kind of surprises me. They didn't go for a last-second desperation shot down the field, but rather be safe than sorry. So heading into the half, scoreless, both teams 0-0. Thank you for tuning in to the Butler Athletics broadcast. We're going to take a quick halftime break, and we will see you at the start of the second half. Once again, I'm Kelly Hallinan.
And I'm Ethan.
And the score is 0-0, and we are at the half. We We will see you at the start of the second. All right, welcome back to anyone tuning in to this Butler Athletics live stream. As the Butler men's soccer team is taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles. Again, if you haven't heard already, I'm Kelly Hallahan.
And I'm Ethan Pollock.
Right now, neither team has scored so far, 0-0 entering this second half. Ethan, what do you think that the Butler Bulldogs have to do to get one on the scoreboard?
Well, the Bulldogs did everything what they needed to do at the start of the game. They have 11 shots on goal, or excuse me, 11 shots overall, I believe. Shots isn't it 4 shots on goal? Excuse me, you might save me here. I don't know for sure, but
4 shots on goal.
4 shots on goal, thank you. So 4 shots on goal, 11 shots on goal. I think Butler, in order to be able to have some more success in the second half, I think that they need to be able to get the ball on target. They've been having a little bit of issues keeping the ball towards on the ground. They've been kind of launching it a few times, but in terms of opportunities, they've had plenty of them, and I think they just need to continue doing so.
All right, so the second half is underway. In the first half, we definitely saw Butler kind of took control, I would say. Controlled the ball most of the first half. Had quite a few, as we said, opportunities on goal compared to Marquette. Marquette only had 2 shots, 1 shot on goal, only 1 corner compared to Butler's 7. So I'm sure this half in the locker room, they definitely probably talked about, getting more offensive opportunities, because obviously that's how you win games.
Yeah, when Butler is controlling the ball the entire time, it's hard for Marquette to be able to have any sort of opportunity to make something happen.
It looks like for Butler, we have the same starting lineup starting this second half that did the first half. Robinson with the throw-in.
Butler players are not happy with that one. Looking for maybe a card or a little bit more than just a foul. And
you can definitely see the frustration. Talking to the ref right now, Captain Reese Myers, trying to figure out what kind of just happened, reasoning behind the call.
Well, got onto the player, I believe, was number 24 on Butler. He got under Hicks's, and Hicks kind of got sent flying there, and Butler was not very happy with that. It's great to see that the Bulldogs are defending their players, and shows that they have some chemistry and they enjoy playing with each other.
Marquette with an opportunity right now. It's going to be a race between Barnes and Marquette, but the ball clears it. Right now, Robinson taking it upfield, crosses it, but Myers is able to get a leg on it.
Comes back into the game as he was taking a little breather before the end of the second half.
Definitely good to have Nasser back out there. Great offensive player for the Dogs. Barnes right now bringing the ball up along the sideline.
Don't usually see him going that far up the field. He's one of the Bulldogs center backs, so a position, because then could cause some problems back in the defense.
Yeah, Perrin Barnes and Reese Myers are definitely 2 of the key defenders. We talk about them most games, at least I have. I mean, they get action the whole entire game. Always able to have some key stops in each match. And Barnes is only a sophomore, so luckily we'll have him even when Myers has to graduate. score update. Still 0-0, scoreless for both teams. Marquette has had a few more opportunities so far this second half than they did the first half. And that one's going to sail over the goal, and it'll be Butler ball. Barnes right there, who we were just talking about, sends it up the field. Now we're going to have Myers and Justin Savona trying to bring it up the field. It's a race between Robinson and Nasser. Robinson able to get a foot on it, and it's going to go back to Marquette. A little bit of back and forth so far in this first half. And Hallwood, with a strong kick, clears it up the field. But yet again, Butler's defense able to get control before Marquette gets a scoring opportunity. Hallwood in control right now. So we talked about what Butler has to do, offensively at least, for this second half. What does Marquette have to do to get by this strong Butler defense and strong Butler goalkeeper and Gabriel Jargy?
Well, they need to first to be able to get past their Butler's defense, and at times they're able to push the ball upfield. You get it with Lucas Sunason, be able to get it to him and have him create some action. He was able to have a one-on-one chance, an opportunity with Jargy, but just couldn't come up with it. So getting the ball into his control and having him be able to push it upfield would, I think, be the key for them. I mean, also being able to get the ball into the offensive side in the first place has been a hard time. Trying to push up on the wings and seeing if they could be able to do that, because Butler has really controlled this either side of the field, which has been a big reason why they've been able to control the possession of the entire game so far. So I think if Marquette is looking to push upfield, they got to get it into Lucas Sunison's. Give it to him, as they're looking at him right now, and be able to just control the sides, but got to work on their pass in the first place if they want to do anything. Just
then, Hemi Nasser was looking for a little bit of a breakaway, but ultimately got the ball stolen from him. A little bit of pushing between him and Marquez, but no call. Everything's good now. Another Butler throw-in. It's going to be Hollenkamp on the ground, foul on Marquette. Just under 38 minutes to go in this second half. Still a lot of time for both teams to get some more shots on goal.
Bad pass there by Bulldogs. Allows Marquette to be able to take him on, as Butler was slowly but surely moving the ball upfield.
And that Marquez, who was able to control it a little bit after getting that steal, he assisted the game winner versus Loyola Chicago. So he's already seen some action so far this season in a win. Jargy clears it to Savona, who's got a defender right on him, Marquez. Looks like it's going to be anybody's ball, booted right up in the air. A little bit of back and forth right now. Ultimately, Marquette is able to maintain control.
Marquette's really trying to get into Sunison's feet and be able to create some sort of opportunities. They've been trying to pass it to him every single time.
DeBolt intercepts that pass, and now we have DeBolt running downfield with Nasser and Cabrera Jr. Looks like it will be a Butler throw-in.
No, is that a Butler throw-in? I think it's a DePaul throw-in, actually.
It is a DePaul throw-in, or a Marquette throw-in.
Oh, goodness, wrong game.
Both teams, however, we mentioned it in the first half, did beat DePaul. Both played DePaul. That was Butler's last game. Won 5-0, 3 different scorers in that match. However, Marquette only beat them 3-1. Still got the win, but not the shutout.
That time hit the wrong pole. That was the field goal pole. They're shooting it again a little bit high. Wilmer had the opportunity right in front of the goalie, decided to pass it to the outside.
Yeah, and that was Visser with the kick. He scored in that last game against DePaul. That was his first career goal here at Butler after he redshirted his freshman season. As you can hear, some leaves rustling on the bleachers. It's a little bit windy today here in Indianapolis. Not too cold though, but definitely a little bit of wind. You can probably hear it as well in the microphone.
Yeah, we're enjoying the warm weather for the first time in a very long time. We had a great game last week. On that Wednesday, it was super sunny. Today a little bit more cloudy, but still plenty of warm weather. Yeah,
surprisingly, it's been very sunny and nice here in Indianapolis in the middle of March. Great time for March Madness to come around though, so not complaining.
March Madness taking over Indianapolis though, and even Butler's campus, as we've got plenty of posters, and we've also got the cute mascot, the mayor of March, otherwise known as Butler Blue the Fourth. He's been very busy himself, talking to all the news stations and being able to spread the positivity and spread the popularity and get everyone ready for March Madness.
Yeah, definitely have to give credit to all of the Butler athletics staff and everyone who works in Hinkle for not only having to help set up and run March Madness, but also every single sport that Butler has to offer is being played this spring. We have all the fall sports because obviously they had a little COVID pause, cancellation. Seasons were postponed in the fall. There were no sports happening. But right now you got men's and women's basketball, you have volleyball, you have men's and women's soccer, men's and women's tennis, lacrosse, just tons of sports going on, so luckily able to get them all in, but I think it's also most importantly the athletes are just excited to be out on the fields after that long break in the fall. Some of them hadn't played in over a year because of injury, and so I'm sure they're all very happy to be back on the fields, even though they had a little bit of a rough stretch their first 4 games, but they're back in it after their first win last game. So I think they're excited to just be playing other people besides themselves, having more consistent practice schedule, more consistent game schedule with these home games. Now that they are on their own turf, they're not traveling or going to a indoor facility because of snow or anything like that.
And as a player, you always want to be able to keep playing games, and it's more entertaining and more fun when you get to go up against your rivals or other teams in the Big East or play anybody, and especially at home too, here in the Selleck Bowl. One of the best facilities in the Big East. I'd love to, it's always a fun time for the players, and they are probably more than happy to be able to have a season in the first place. And
it looks like that's going to be a foul right there on Eric Hollenkamp. It was a little bit back and forth for Butler and Marquette right there, but ultimately it'll be Jack Haywood who sends it back to Barnes. Butler's going to try to get something going. Haven't had too many opportunities yet so far in this half, but still just over 32 minutes to go. We talked about Big East play. Both teams have already had their first Big East matchups. Butler 1-0 in the Big East, Marquette 1-1 in the Big East. This year, though, the Big East is looking a little bit different. To limit travel because of COVID and everything like that, they split it up. So Butler and Marquette are both a part of the Midwest Division, and Butler was actually picked first preseason by the coaches as the predicted winner for the Midwest Division. Marquette, I believe, was picked 4th. So it's a shame, they don't get to play those competitive East Coast teams like Georgetown, who won the national championship, or St. John's, who was ranked last year. But definitely some good teams out there, but I think they're just excited to be playing no matter who they have to face up against.
Absolutely.
And it's also cool to get to play these Midwest opponents both home and away. So they'll have a chance to beat them on their own turf and have a chance to go to their turf and try and get a win there. Butler has applied a little bit more pressure right now. Looking for another opportunity. Nasser right now in control. Gets it by 2 or 3 defenders. He sends it, but just a little wide.
Good opportunity there once again for Nasser. Be able to go through the defenders. Just could not find the open gap and set it just a little left of the goal. Butler providing more and more pressure though. Not exactly what Marquette wanted to do to start out the second half.
Robinson right now tries to send it over to Andrade, but Butler comes away with it, quickly advancing it up the field. Cabrera Jr. and Visser on that far side, trying to get something going. Now it's Nasser. Let's see what he can do. Marquette's defense scrambling.
Nobody there for that pass.
Looks like Jack Haywood is down right now, but no call.
Justin Savone was able to go and save that. So keep the pressure going on Marquette. Just barely kept it inside that yellow line.
Looks like number 15, Marquez, for Marquette, is down right now, grabbing his ankle, I believe. But there was no call on that end either.
It's going to be a Butler throw-in.
Marquette able to clear it out, but Myers in control right now.
If you can see the leaves too, once again, looks like Butler is going to be having to play against the wind this second half. Could cause some trouble with them trying to be able to keep the ball on net and keep control, or get control of the ball, as it'll be a little bit harder to control it with the wind right at your face. And as you can see on those flagpoles, the wind is definitely blowing right on. Even the flag in that far right corner has already fallen.
Visser tries to get something going right there, but it looks like it'll be another Butler corner. Visser also almost had a cross, but Marquette's defense, number 20, Reed, he came in and was able to block that, get it out of there. Now it'll be Jack Haywood again with the corner. Yet another opportunity for the Dogs.
I believe that's Tommy Visser, though, actually, from the corner. He's the main guy that's always taking the corners. A little too far for the Bulldogs, but Wilmer Cabrera's got it. Able to get past one defender, but couldn't get past two, and Marquette was able to take advantage of it. Dangerous play there when you're passing it back like that to your goalie, outside of the goalie box. He's not able to use his hands. He has to come out and do his best. Looks like Marquette's already got 2 subs coming in as well, bringing some more fresh legs to hopefully apply more pressure, as they are still struggling to do so here in the second half.
Golden Eagle substitution, 22, Zach Wagner for 14, Nick Guido, and 19, Sam Thornton for 15, Christian Marquez.
So we have 2 new Marquette players coming in, Wagner and Thornton.
Bringing 2 more offensive players in for Marquette. Trying to see if they could take the guys on the. It looks like one of them was a winger, so they're going to try and see if they could push on the left side of the field. See if they could apply more pressure, but they've been struggling to do so far this game. Score is still 0-0 here. Just about 26 minutes here left in the second half. As if another foul is called on Marquette.
going to be Jack Haywood with a strong kick up to Tommy Visser, who is chasing after the ball, but Hallwood able to get a foot on it. Now Wegner in control right now, going at it a little bit with Haywood. We have Cabrera Jr., Visser, and Nasser trying to make something happen, but Hallwood eventually comes out.
Hallwood, perfect pass right to them. Marquette player, and he sends it. Great.
Georgie able to get some hands on that.
Spectacular save there by Georgie as he had to lay out for that one. Talk about a dream pass, though, from Hallwood. Sent it from their own 10-yard line all the way out to the other 10-yard. Just about like a 60, 70-yard kick on the dot. Right to Marquette forward. Just could not come up with it.
Just Marquette's second corner of the game. It's going to be hard but too high shot for Marquette. It's going to go back to Butler.
Zan Andraj was trying to be able to launch that one right at Georgie, as there were plenty of Butler defenders in front of him, but if you hit that hard enough and get a hold of it, you could sure put some power on that and so you could aim for the top left or top right corner.
For your Bulldogs, number 2, Jack Streberger. For 14, Eric Hollenkamp.
Looks like we have Jack Streberger in the game now. Streberger is a redshirt sophomore out of Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. He battled injuries in his 2019 season, but was able to have his first career start actually this season. Did not start today, but good to see him back on the field for the Dogs.
This game has been back and forth as Marquette finally got their first shots of the game in on Georgie, or first shots of the second half, excuse me, in on Georgie, as he's had a quiet day.
Applying a little bit more pressure than usual on Butler's defense, not letting them take their time passing it around. Both teams scoreless, 0-0. Just about 23 minutes left to go in this match.
Bulldogs need to get the ball back into Wilmer Cabrera's control, be able to get him some more shots here in the second half, as he's been trying to be a little bit more generous in passing the ball when he's had the opportunities. But they need to get the ball into his feet, let him do his magic, and create some more opportunities.
Little matchup right there between Andra and Hicks. Haywood sends it up to Cabrera Jr. Let's see if he can get it before it goes out. It's going to be a Marquette throw-in.
Great tackle there by, looks to be Haywood as he passes it.
Haywood
inside.
to Cabrera. Very close chance there. It looks like Robinson was able to get in the way of that. Now Marquette quickly going downfield. Hicks gets it back though to Nasser.
That's exactly what the Bulldogs wanted. They wanted to get it into Cabrera's control, and
Streberger right
so
now.
Close.
Looks like it will stay with Butler though as they're getting set up.
Going to be the Bulldogs' 10th corner.
And the 10th one for Jack Haywood.
He has sure been busy today. A little too far.
It's going to be Streberger right now. So Bolt throws it into Nasser. Nasser, Haywood, and Cabrera Jr. trying to get something going over there. And Haywood right now battling with Robinson. And it's headed out by Merceberger.
Make that 11 corners.
th corner kick for Haywood. All of them have been just so close, but Butler has not been able to capitalize on any. Let's see what they can do with this one. It's cleared out of there. Barnes gets control of it right now, sends it right back over to Haywood.
Reese Myers had a chance there, but he just fell down right at the wrong time.
Now it's Streberger, quickly getting by Merceberger, but cannot finish. Just under 19 minutes left in the game. 0-0 still. We have a race for the ball, but it's going to go to Butler ultimately.
Back and forth battles as each team is taking turns having their opportunities, but none of them can come up with any sort of points on the board.
Going to be a foul on Marquette. Looks like Griffin DeBolt was involved in that, but he got up, he's fine.
That ball was in the air for a long time, or a very long time, as Marquette was able to keep it up in the air, kind of like a keepy up challenge.
Butler's bench jumps up, trying to get a call. All put their arms up at the same exact time. Haywood's going to take that kick.
This is exactly where Butler had it last time against DePaul, and somehow, some way, they were able to come up with a goal. So we'll see if they might be able to recreate that magic.
Headed away by Marquette. Savona able to get it by two Marquette defenders. Great footwork by him.
Looks like cones are flying on the field because it's so windy. I mean, Nasser had to throw one of those away, but
like it's going to be a foul on Cabrera Jr. He's talking to the ref right now about that. And Hallwood, Marquette's goalie, going to clear it over. Looks like that's to Passarelli.
Looks like they're going to call the handball. They were going to try. The ref was going to give them the advantage, and Butler got possession of it, and they're now going to get a free kick right around the 20-yard line. Remy was falling over. He didn't mean to stick his hand out, and just so happened to touch his hand. So Marquette gets away with one here, and we'll see if they're able to take advantage of this opportunity.
Looks like it'll be Wegner and Soto lining up for that kick. Again, we mentioned Soto has had a few game winners, just a freshman. 2 game winners so far. Let's see what he can do. Wegner is the one who takes the kick, but they cannot capitalize on it. Now Butler's sending it up the field. Cabrera Jr. wheels, but out of bounds it goes. It'll be a throw-in.
Foot got caught up around Wilmer Cabrera, so they were able to give Butler the ball for another foul on Marquette.
Both teams still scoreless. Exactly 14 minutes to go in this game. Looks like that was a push. Push on Thornton. Justin Savona went flying. Butler fans not happy about it.
Substitution here for Marquette.
Substitution for Marquette. 15, Christian Marquez. To 19, Sam Thornton.
Jack Haywood gets his pocket picked, but then Butler tries and gets it right back.
A little bit of a push.
Back and forth action here. Things are getting a little dirty, but looks like they're going to give.
Not too much time left in this game though, so both teams applying that pressure, trying to get something going.
Yeah, they ended up calling it foul on Butler. Fouls are 18-11. Marquette has 18 fouls, Butler 11. So things been most of the time clear game, or clean game, but it's been becoming a little bit chippy here towards the end of the game, as both teams really want to come out of here with the win.
Not too many fouls where it really matters though, which is in the box. No teams have had any penalty kicks or intense fouls. I say that as someone sliding now in the box, but nothing was called.
Ball sent right across in front of Georgie.
Substitution.
Those are scary moments for a goalie. Is you don't know who's going to be coming up and kicking it or at the timing, so you got to be able to time it right, pick the right person to jump in front of, and try and do your best to make the save.
And we did have a Butler substitution. Junior Eric Hollenkamp from Columbus, Indiana native. He replaces Jack Streberger. Hollenkamp saw action in 17 games for the Dogs. Had 2 starts last year in back-to-back Big East matches. St. John's and Providence. He took 2 shots on the season. So far this season, he's made 1 goal from way out. He did a little dance after it too. Very exciting. It was the Dogs' 5th goal, I believe, of that game. But he's back in now, so hopefully he can provide some offense for the Dogs.
looks like they called an offsides on Marquette way out there, giving them the kick deep inside their zone.
Barnes is able to get it away from Soto, who sped up right there, almost had an opportunity, but it's going to be a Marquette corner. Marquette, typically, their last one at least, they didn't launch the corner, they just did a quick pass. Looks like this one they'll launch it. Savona comes away with it. Sends it upfield. He was looking for Cabrera Jr. It's going to be Robinson versus Cabrera Jr. Cabrera Jr. somehow got away with it for a moment, but Marquette's defense able to collapse and get control again.
Cabrera a little banged up there after that awkward way of stealing the ball, kind of sliding backwards and then sticking his feet out. He looks to be up and stretching it out now.
An attempted pass up to Soto.
19, Ethan King.
But it's going to go back to Butler. Yet another substitution for Butler. They're trying to get something going here. As you can see, Brendan Hicks now out, replaced by Ethan King, who saw some time in the first half.
Ref calls time as he allows Marquette defender to tie his shoes. Always got to make sure you're staying safe there. As Georgie waits for the ref to give him the signal.
Time winding down. They stopped the clock, but officially 9 minutes, 18 seconds left in this match. Both teams going to be looking for something. A little bit of a collision right there. Eric Hollenkamp grabbing his head. It was between Hollenkamp and Andrade. We mentioned Andrade before. He had the golden goal against St. Louis and received a Big East Weekly Honor Roll already this season. Looks like both him and Hollenkamp are okay.
Tommy Visser looking to be able to cross that in. Some numbers building for the Bulldogs, but great play by Marquette's defender to knock it out of bounds and force the throw-in.
Cabrera with a tough one right there, double teamed. And Soto is going to kick it out for another Butler throw-in. King versus Robinson, racing to the ball. Looks like it stays with Butler. No, it's actually going to be a Robinson throw-in. We've talked about Robinson a lot this game. He's been running up and down that sideline.
It's also been very vocal there for Marquette in their backfield, making sure everybody in the back and the defending core for Marquette knows what they're doing.
Robinson is a defender, redshirt freshman out of Illinois, went to Warren Township High School. One honor was Big East All-Academic last year. His redshirt freshman season started and played 93 minutes in his Marquette debut against Loyola Chicago, 54 minutes against NIU, and 1 shot against St. Louis. Looks like there's a foul right there on Tommy Visser.
Trying to be able to keep up with Marquette forward. who was streaking down the field, and give him a little bit of a shove. And when you're running at that fast of speeds and giving it all you got, you give somebody a little tap and they'll start stumbling to the ground. And easy call for the ref to make.
Just 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Opportunity right here for Marquette. Sunasan goes chasing after it. It's going to go back to Butler, though. So with the limited time remaining, just about 6 minutes, what does each team have to do to try and get a goal?
They have to push the ball, keep applying the pressure, as both teams have taken their turns, being able to get the ball, get a play going. So we simply got to start off by having control of the ball and being able to pass it to each other. And it's been a little bit of a battle here right around midfield, as the two just send it back and forth. And you're not going to be able to get anything going if you keep doing that. So be able to start slow, give it to one of the defenders like Butler's doing right now, and slowly but surely move their way up. Take their time. I know there's only 5 minutes left, but take your time. No need to rush, as there's still going to be plenty more time. And find your star players, like we said, Sunasan with Marquette or Wilmer Cabrera for the Bulldogs, and make something happen.
King now races towards it after we're just talking about Cabrera Jr. He had it for a moment right there. Nasser right in front of the goal. Now Hollenkamp sending it over to King. Let's see what he can do here. Pretty good shot, but it goes right over to the goalkeeper, Hallwood.
Great one-touch pass from, I believe it was Haywood who was on that shot. Or excuse me, that was Ethan King getting the shot. So great opportunity, another shot on goal. Making sure Hallwood is still paying attention, not falling asleep.
Yeah, I think Butler does best in those transition goals. I mean, obviously they've had close to 20 corners, or they've had 10 corners, but close to 20 shots, 16 shots. And so if they can't capitalize on the corners, I think those goals in transition are key for them.
Butler has certainly had numerous opportunities and numerous chances to score and take the lead, but just have not been able to take that final step.
4 minutes to go in this game. Butler really applying the pressure right now, trying to get it downfield, trying to make something happen. Savona tries to get it over to Haywood, but he falls. Looks like there was a little bit of contact there, but no call. Marquette quickly advancing it up the field.
Great play there by Justin Savona.
He's able to get the stop.
Able to head it and stop the forward push and momentum that was headed towards Marquette's favor. Be able to get some numbers down the field and be able to defend a lot better. There was a shot there by Beto Soto. It's a shot right at Georgie. Able to corral it. He's going to boot it away.
Looks like right there it was a foul on Wegner. King grabbing his head. Hope everything's okay there. It always scares me when they grab their head, because the last thing you want is a concussion or anything having to do with that.
Yeah, those are always hard plays to make, especially when you're jumping up and you're going to try and use your head with the ball like that. So always super dangerous, and you always want to make sure everyone's okay.
3 defenders kind of attacking Visser right there. He's not able to get it by them. But Hollenkamp and King trying to make something happen. Nasser to Cabrera Jr. Switching fields.
Swing and a miss there was Soto trying to steal it away from Nasser.
And Wegner gets in the way of that cross, kicks it out. Butler will have yet another opportunity with just under 2 minutes to go.
Fans getting into this one. As time is ticking down, they're trying to bring the energy. This could be Butler's last opportunity here in regular time.
Haywood yet again. Let's see what Butler can do from his cross. Hallwood gets some hands on it, it looks like. Their goalkeeper. We have a Marquette defender down. Clock stopped. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go.
Jonathan Robinson was attempting to help clear that away and got a little bit of a punch from his own goalie there from Hallwood. Took a hard fall, but good to see he's back up and running.
Remaining in regulation. 1 minute.
A shot right there by Haywood. Butler getting a few chances right now. That was a close one by Ethan King, but Hallwood able to catch and come away with it. Those were very close chances for Butler.
Wilmer Cabrera set up King perfectly, gave him a little pounce pass up in the air. King went up to smack it. Got a hold of it, just sent it right at Hallwood, and he was able to make the easy save. Everyone's heart stopped beating there for a second as it was a very close one.
Just 10 seconds remaining.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It looks like this match will be going into overtime. As we mentioned earlier, Marquette is a pretty good team when it comes to overtime. They're 7-2-2 in their last 11 overtime games. And the first 3 games of their season, their 2021 spring season, were all in overtime. Overtime thrillers.
So they have plenty of experience here, I'm assuming, because
Definitely.
when you start off like that, Marquette might be able to take advantage of it, despite only having 5 shots on goal after 2 halves. Butler's got 18, nearly tripling them, or excuse me, or quadrupling them in terms of shots. As the teams begin to stretch themselves out and get ready for the overtime.
So there will be a brief 5-minute pause break right now as both teams get ready, stretch it out, come up with a game plan for overtime. We will take a quick break, come back at the start of the overtime period. And thank you for tuning in so far for those first 90 minutes of the Butler Athletics broadcast as the Butler men's soccer team takes on the Marquette Golden Eagles. We will see you very shortly for the start of this overtime. Once again, I'm Kelly Hallinan.
And I'm Ethan Pollack.
All right, so we are back, ready to start the overtime period. Just so everyone knows, we're all on the same page. So obviously we just had that 5-minute intermission. We're gonna have a 10-minute period, sudden victory. Whoever scores wins. If that continues to be tied scoreless, then we will have another 2-minute intermission and then another 10-minute period. Again, sudden victory. If both teams tie, then there's no penalty kicks because obviously it's not a tournament, there's no advancing, so it will be a draw if it is still tied after the second overtime. So heading into this overtime period, obviously there are some key players on both teams that may have a chance of getting that golden goal. Who do you think for both Butler and Marquette are most likely to get that golden goal?
I know we were talking about this earlier for Marquette's side of things, and they have this one player that's already got 2 game-winning goals, and that's Beto Soto, the freshman. He's only a freshman, but to have him be able to get on there, I don't know if he's on the field at the moment, but if they try and sub him in, maybe get some late game action and be able to get something going. But for Butler's sake, I mean, we could always say Wilmer Cabrera, but I might have to go with somebody who's been getting a few more shots on goal this game than normal. You can go with a Hemi Nasser or Eric Hollenkamp, 2 guys that have scored goals this season, but have not, or none of them really got involved. Or no, Hollenkamp had his goal against DePaul, but Hemi hasn't scored in a little since the first game of the season, so he's been looking to try and get back on the board, and what a time to do it other than a game-winning goal against Marquette. So
definitely
look out for Hemi Nasser.
Right now we have Jack Haywood sends it. Marquette's goalie Hallwood is able to get hands on it. That one was a very close one, and it's going to be Haywood again for yet another kick, yet another corner for Butler. They had a few opportunities on these throughout the game. Looks like a little bit of a wrestling match between the goalie and Butler's Brendan Hicks. Marquette's goalie Hallwood and Brendan Hicks.
It looks like they're going to be calling that foul on Butler. Butler really was looking to be able to think that...
Hicks was able to get ahead on it, it looked like, but ultimately a little bit of a tackle. Not a soccer tackle, a football tackle.
Came behind him and just speared him at that point. You'd think Butler would be able to get that, but...
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be another foul on Butler's Tommy Visser.
Giving him a little too much of the body. A little too much shoving going on, so refs trying to calm things down.
Something else of note, winds from the south are at 23 miles per hour right now, so Butler had to face that way in their second half. Right now, luckily they do not. Unfortunately for Marquette, though, they are going against some strong winds, which obviously can affect the play of the game.
A lot harder to shoot the ball or send it across the field when winds are blowing that fast, as you could probably have seen with the American flag and the little flags on top of the field goal poles, as they are blowing directly towards the net, or towards south, so especially since they're in the bowl too, it just amplifies it even more.
And while Butler had quite a few overtime games last season, their last fall season, this year they've only had one. It was their very first game. It was technically a home game, but it was played at their indoor facility in Westfield, Indiana, Grand Park. It was against SIUE, went into overtime. The only goal Butler scored was by Hemi Nasser, and they ended up losing 2-1. SIUE was able to capitalize, get that golden goal, but that was their only overtime match so far. So we'll see if they can reverse the curse so far this season and come away with an overtime win.
Yeah, and that was a absolutely amazing save there and recovery by Reese Myers for Butler. Be able to, looks like Lucas Sunison was going to have a one-on-one opportunity with Georgie, be able to get a good shot going, but Reese turned on the jets and was able to catch up to him and knock the ball away and give Butler another opportunity to keep on moving it down the field. Bulldogs creating another chance right now. They looked.
Cabrera Jr. sends it over to Visser. Back to Haywood. Let's see what they can do here. Marquette's defense, looks like that one was Franklin, able to get in the way. We've said his name 100 times so far this game, but Jack Haywood. Luckily, it's an easy name to pronounce.
Yep, they're going to be their 13th corner, the Bulldogs. 13, and still have not been able to come up with a goal or a major chance, as the balls continue to have been played very well by Marquette. But it's great to see that they're putting on some more, getting the good opportunities. But it looks like a Butler player is down right now, as the players call for the clock to stop.
Looks like the trainers are running over. Can't see who it is from up here, but we will let you know as soon as we can see.
Wish I brought my binoculars with. I would have been able to see a little bit better.
Sometimes it helps when they wear neon-colored cleats too, but not in this case. Butler runs over back to their bench, get hydrated a little bit. Marquette will do the same.
Substitution for Butler, number 2, Jack Streberger. For 14, Eric Hollenkamp.
So it looks like that was Hollenkamp who went down. Hopefully he's okay. The trainers are looking at him on the far sidelines right now. Did not exactly see what the collision was, but he seemed to be grabbing his leg or his ankle, but now Jack Streberger is in the game for him. Streberger has been in the game already, so hopefully he kind of doesn't have cold feet and is able to jump right in and have an effect on this overtime period.
Make that 14 corners for the Bulldogs right now, though. Ball still have an opportunity. Marquette's able to clear the ball away. Great tackle there by number 26 of Butler, Griffin DeBolt, able to stop the recent push.
Looks like a little bit of a tie-up there between Franklin and DeBolt. DeBolt slow getting up, but it will ultimately be a Butler throw-in.
Looks like Hollenkamp is back up and walking back to the bench, so it's good to see that.
He is being helped by 2 trainers though, so hopefully everything is well over there, but he is being returned to the bench. 3 minutes left in this first overtime period. I see some comments here that Marquette fans just want to get through this first 10-minute period so that they don't have to face the wind anymore. Strong winds obviously are impacting this game. Here's a Marquette opportunity right now. Justin Savona quickly able to get a foot on it.
Opportunity there for defender Jonathan Robinson, playing up for the Golden Eagles. Could not keep it low enough, and the ball sailed over the net. Marquette showing some life though here towards the end of the first part of the overtime here.
Nasser right now tries to advance, but quite a few Marquette defenders surrounding him. A little bit of a breakaway right now. Sunasan Sunasan crosses, but nobody is there. There was one person there, but it was a little bit beyond his reach.
Miscommunication there between Sunasan and the rest of the Marquette offenses. He had the ball there, threw it right in front of Georgie, and just nobody there to tap it in. Flags continue to keep falling down, so I've had to go pick that one up. It's another example of how crazy the winds are here today. Just about to be 1 minute left here in the first half of the overtime.
So obviously if there's no sudden victory golden goal here, there will be a quick 2-minute intermission and then another 10-minute period. And if there's no sudden victory golden goal then it will be a draw. So penalty kicks will only come if there is someone who need to advance. So that's why we would see penalty kicks in some of the Big East tournament games.
Time ticking down here as Marquette looks to make one final push.
20 seconds. Gabrielle Georgie is not going to waste any time. Quickly punts it up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Player's gonna let it sit.
2.
So that's gonna take us to the end of the first half of the overtime. Shots 19 for Butler, 6 for Marquette. We'll have another 2-minute intermission, so we'll take a minor break before we head back into the second half of overtime.
Both teams will refuel, grab some water, come up with a plan, and see what they can do to get that golden goal in the last 10 minutes. Again, we've talked about Marquette's really strong in overtime games so far this season, but you never know. Butler has to face in the direction of the 22-mile-per-hour winds, but we'll see. We'll be back in just a little bit over a minute. Thank you for tuning in to yet another overtime period here for the Butler Athletics broadcast. right, welcome back everyone to our second overtime period. It's going to be 10 more minutes with us spent on this broadcast. Thank you for listening for as long as you have if you've been here since the start. Score is still 0-0. Whoever gets a goal in this 10-minute period, if they do, will be the winner. Sudden death right here, right now. Who is going to get the golden goal? If nobody gets that golden goal, it will be a draw. So I guess it's better to be unbeaten than to lose, but still would be exciting to get a goal in this 10-minute period.
We're just looking for something to be more exciting, spice things up. Since it's been a slower game, there's been 19 shots for Butler and 6 for Marquette. plenty of opportunities for both teams, more for Butler than for Marquette. But
Yeah. To go through some stats real quick, I hate to bombard you with stats, but pretty interesting. Butler has had 19 shots, 7 shots on goal, compared to Marquette's 6 shots and only 3 on goal. However, Marquette's goalie had much more saves than Jergy. He had 4 more saves so far, so definitely a lot of action. He's had to do a lot today for his Marquette team in terms of protecting that goal. Marquette 24 fouls, Butler only 15.
yeah, Marquette has taken advantage of their opportunities and been pretty accurate with their shots on goal, as they have been 50%, where Butler, 7-19, have gotten a little carried away.
Close opportunity there. I thought maybe they'd be able to sneak one in and Jergy would have to try and save it, but luckily Butler's defense able to protect the goal a little bit. And right now Robinson, a defender who's been on the offensive end for quite some time during these overtime periods, he gets a shot. Marquette's going to be able to get an opportunity for another shot though right here. Looks like that's going to be a corner. Butler has had 14 corners this game. Marquette has had 4. So Butler has not been able to capitalize on those kicks, but let's see if Marquette can with their few. Looks like there's been a call that's going to go the other way.
It was an offsides call on Marquette, trying to sneak a little too close to the net and got in front of the defenders, or too far ahead of the defenders, and that is a major mistake on Marquette's part, as they had the opportunity for the corner kick and just lost it due to a mishap.
Ethan King able to get a head on it. Now Hemi Nasser and Jack Haywood, a little bit of a breakaway. Cabrera Jr. versus Robinson.
Sun is coming out right at the perfect time. No more clouds in the skies, they begin to clear. Wind letting up right when Butler is about to have a chance here in the Marquette zone.
Quick give and go right there. Hemi Nasser to Tommy Visser. But it's going to ultimately go back to the Marquette goalie, who we mentioned. Hallwood has had a lot of action today. A lot of saves, a lot of goal kicks. Definitely, compared to Jergy, has had to do a lot this game to make sure that Butler does not get one in the back of the net. And right now we have a little bit of a Marquette breakaway. Let's see if Perrin Barnes can stop it. And a save by Gabriel Jergy. That was a close one.
Speaking of which, the guy that we said that would have his opportunity, that was Soto right there, streaking down the field, knowing he missed out on a major opportunity there.
Soto looking for his 3rd game-winning goal. Already had 2, only a freshman. I can't imagine what he's going to look like as he develops in his time at Marquette. As we mentioned, the sun is now out. Still windy, but hopefully sunlight shines on a potential goal.
Major opportunity there, as it went through 2 Butler defenders' legs before making it to a Marquette player. And it looks like they're going to be calling a handball on Marquette, and it's going to be Butler's kick, or free kick here, running around the 15-yard line.
Just under 6 minutes to go in this period. After this period, the game will be over. Very long game this afternoon at the Selleck Bowl. 0-0. Just about 5.5 minutes to go. Visser right now dribbles it through 3 defenders, but nobody else there to help out for Butler.
The flag just barely saves that one. So it's going to be a Butler throw-in now. Never seen that before, as it bounces off the flag and stays in play. What a weird play.
A quick update on Butler's Eric Hollenkamp, who was hurt in the last overtime period. He's over there. He's still being looked at by trainers. Obviously, we don't know what it is yet, but hopefully he is okay.
Butler looking to get a handball call there, as the fans and the players let them hear it there, but ref stayed strong and did not call it. Visser crossing it. No good as Marquette sends it back. Back and forth action here as Butler looks to make another push. Keep the pressure on.
Hemi Nasser right here tries to get it to Cabrera Jr., but it is taken away by Marquette's defense.
Counterattack here for Marquette.
Brendan Hicks has it right now, over to Myers.
Butler taking their time, making sure their passes it, as almost stolen away there by Marquette's Christian Marquez. So he got a foot on it to deflect the pass out of bounds. Jack Haywood sent that one. Another close call there as Nasser sent it into the box and Hallwood couldn't handle it. Another dangerous play there. Sunason able to pick up the ball again. I think it's great play there by Perrin Barnes to take it away and save the counterattack by Sunason. Ball now sent up. Picked up by Marquette and being pushed up by Robinson. Sent it just a little too far.
It's going to go back to Butler.
Just hit the 2 minute remaining in the rest of this game. And foul going to be called on Butler. Marquette's going to take their time coming up to this kick, showing that they want to have the last and final opportunity to score in this game between Butler and Marquette.
Just about a minute and 30 seconds to go in this second overtime period. Marquette trying to get something going.
Great defensive play there by Butler, but then stolen right back.
1 minute to go. Butler acting fast, trying to get it down the field for the golden goal.
Low kick there from Georgie, trying to keep it close to the ground because he knows if he launches it too high, it might come flying right back at him. The ball goes back out of bounds. Another goal kick for Gabrielle Georgie.
30 seconds to go.
Marquette having one more opportunity.
Just about 10 seconds.
10, 9,
Let's see if we can get a desperation shot. The clock is stopped.
Wow.
The ref calls a foul on Marquette. Looks like Hemi Nasser had fallen there.
There
Not sure
comes
who fouled.
everybody on the field. They're bringing everybody. Georgie's all the way up at the 50-yard line.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And after all that, it will be a draw. 0-0, both teams scoreless after today's match. A good fight on both ends. Both had opportunities. Both defense were strong enough to make sure the other team didn't score. Great matchup. This will make Butler's record to 1-4-0. This is their first draw of the season. Once again, you've heard it a bunch of times before, but I'm Kelly Allanan.
And I'm Ethan Pollock.
And we really appreciate you sticking around through these long overtime game today. And we will see you at the next Butler men's soccer game, which is going to be against Xavier. Thank you for joining again, and we'll see you next time.